How have you operationalized that level of excellence?
We speak a lot about systems, and
Yes.
systems are key. As much as you want to believe that you could do it all, you cannot. It's impossible. I set an intention every single day of what I want, and I'm never satisfied. I think majority has been organic, but also some of it's been a little bit of luck based off my reputation.
Really what you're asking yourself is, where am I best placed for this mission? And what a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is separating the man from the mission.
Get out of your own way faster. Make decisions quicker and be happy with the decision that's made.
And in the early days of the business, was there a moment where you were like, this is not going to work, I'm done? This is the one and only Candice McGann. She's the founder and CEO of Abroad Scope and Visas Abroad, and she knows a lot about what you need to learn about scaling a business, building a team, believing in yourself, and giving yourself the permission to hold people to a very, very high standard. This is Ideas That Matter. Enjoy. So we start every podcast with a dad joke.
Okay.
I'm going to do one, and then...
Make sure it's good, please, because I'm I'm blonde, so I don't always laugh at this.
Oh, steady.
Yeah, my grandfather would always complain.
Okay, this one I actually have
Have to
read
repeat
before.
the
Okay,
joke.
I'm going to put these two down. And
Want me to choose one for you?
I got one.
Okay.
You know, people say they pick their nose. But I feel like I was just born with mine. Did you get it?
Cute. Very cute.
Okay, your turn.
Oh my
Your turn. There you go.
How do you row a canoe filled with puppies?
How?
Bring out the doggy paddle.
I get it.
Oh, that's super cute.
That's cool.
I'm gonna
That's
get this
cool.
for my son and me. We love
So I tell you where this came from.
Yeah.
I would do in my business. I do like sometimes very difficult meetings, like very tense meetings.
Yeah.
It's either
the ice.
like either a client you're advising on the advisory side of the business, or in the capital side of the business, an accountability conversation with a CEO running a business who perhaps hasn't been able to deliver the numbers. And so I found it's a great way to like open the conversation. I was like, okay, we do dad jokes.
Yeah.
Right. And dad jokes is one of those things that's like completely unobtrusive. Yeah. Everybody can just be like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
So Candice,
Yes.
when I recall vividly the first time you and I got on the call together, and I remembered this because you were sat at what appeared to be like your kitchen counter. And you had I don't know if it was your laptop camera on or your phone camera, but I feel like it was your laptop camera. And it was like fairly dim, not particularly like well-lit space. And you were telling me about your business and this business that you're doing. And in my mind, I remember going, I'm not sure if she is all fully compos mentis. I'm just telling the truth.
Not what I wanted out of this.
I'm just telling the truth. Like, I remember going,
That is insane.
I remember going, I don't know if she's all the way there. And I'll tell you why. Because you just had like such a drive for what you were talking about and the business you had started and the thing you were going to do. And it wasn't anything I was exposed to. So I didn't have like a reference point of how big the market is or how big the market could be.
Yeah.
But you were just like, I'm going to do this. Oh, and it's going to work. Oh, and by the way, I've kind of been doing it now for, a little bit. Oh, and it's working.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to scale it. So for the people watching this, what is it that your business does?
So we have a few companies
Right,
now.
right.
But the main one that I spoke to you about was the one I started that is specialized in South African immigration law. So it's all about bringing people to South Africa, making the immigration process simpler, trying to navigate the complexities of the Department of Home Affairs and all the legislation, and just trying to make that process smoother for the applicant. It is hard to understand the processes,
Right.
to be honest. It is something that actually they should be able to do themselves, but it's virtually impossible for us to understand it
Right.
with the very dynamic, changing, ever-changing landscape. So yeah, our business focuses on moving people into South Africa, doing the immigration process, and as a result of that, everything else sort of made sense. We developed a relocation arm of our business that helps find properties, put the kids into schools, do everything from, fully stock their fridge before they come out, if that's what they really wanted.
Wow.
Yeah, we do CEOs from big corporate companies, all their relocations into South Africa, which is amazing. We're mostly Cape Town based for that business,
Yes.
but we do have an arm in Joburg that can help, with the relocation process. And then we have another business, which I'm so excited about, which actually, it was like the third or fourth masterclass I had with you.
Yes.
Remember I said to you, I'm doing a lot of these outbound visas, like short-term visas.
I recall.
What do you think? And I'm like getting known for it now. That's where a lot of my clients are coming from. What do you think I should do? Do you think I should like separate the business and create another entity? And you said to me, don't separate what you're known for, your main service. Don't separate it from the brand. Rather, do what you're not known for in a
different brand.
And I went against what you said.
Did you? As you do?
I did, but it was because of the naming. So it was a broad scope and it didn't say anything. Like, what does a broad scope do?
A fair point.
So then I was like, but I need something that says visas, because how are people going to know?
It's a
People
visa
are
business.
simple, simple-minded. They need to be fed it, and how do you feed it to them if it's not right in their face?
Got you.
So I was like, because I do a broad scope, I'm going to do visas abroad. And as a result of that, that's been booming and growing. And just so basically, I'm a global mobility specialist. That's
Incredible.
how you would explain me. I'm here to make your life easier and help you move into the country with ease.
So one of the things I loved, I remember vividly our first call, because you were telling me about inbound. Now, for the people watching this, you were doing inbound when it wasn't fashionable, right? Like you were going against the
everybody
grain.
was leaving.
Yeah, people were leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? This is, for context, this is circa COVID, just after COVID time. The country's economies in the doldrums, the macros are looking poor.
Totally.
The politics are into the shit. And South African citizens are all over each other. There is a semigration of people moving from here to Cape Town. And I vividly remember that time. And then you said, oh, by the way, my business helps international people come into South. I was like, I'm almost sure that's the other way. It's like, isn't the brain drain the inverse of this? You're like flowing against. What was it about? What was it about that time that you knew that was a specific area of opportunity?
Well, I mean, I've obviously been in this industry for a long time.
Sure.
So I've come from years of doing immigration. But I also think that there's a lot of untapped sort of swallow market that wasn't really getting sorted out with regards to their entry visas. So they used to be able to come in on 90 days.
Yes, I recall
and then
this,
just go to a quick Home Affairs office, do an extension, stay another 90 days, all is well. But I think that became a little bit more complex. So what was happening was our market of relocations or international clients now went from people that are employed here or exceptionally skilled or are running a business to being financially independent to now being, the tourist. What about the tourist? The tourist is here for 90 days a year. He has a house in Camps Bay. Maybe he wants to stay a little bit longer. And now to extend that visa becomes like a process that he's not comfortable with. So now he goes, what are my other options? Can I get a longer term visa? And that's where we were focusing. We were focusing on that high net worth clientele that didn't like the hassle of having to go every couple of months to Home Affairs or VFS and extend their visa. And so we were offering them retirement visas. And because retirement was a topic that I really enjoyed, I love people that come to retire in South Africa. I always feel like I'm so privileged to have you take your pounds and come and live in South Africa. That means something.
That's great, Tate.
That means something to South Africa. But you also need to spend it here. And you need to make investments and you need to employ people because we need you to not be economically active. We need you to be economically spending.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Don't take my job. Don't take my colleagues' jobs. Don't take my people's work.
Add to the economy. Tell me about, so there is a lot that you've said there, and full disclosure for everybody watching this, you've helped us as a family, right? And we'll come to that in a minute. But what's going on with the changes in the regulations in this space? It is infinitely more complex than it was, say, 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's ever been easy, to be honest. Our best legislation was actually written by Mangosuthu Buthelezi, was the Aliens Control Act. I absolutely loved the way in which that act was written. It was fair, it made sense, it was self-explanatory, it made it easy for people to follow. I think there was a little bit of abuse, but that's also about regulation and control, and there's two elements to the immigration process. Make it easier for people to come into the country and follow the procedures, right? But also control how that is done,
100%.
and make it possible for them to be law abiding as a first choice, and not law abiding as a first choice.
I'm with you.
And this is where the challenge comes in.
I'm with you.
And then we had the Immigration Act that changed in 2002, and then 2004, sorry, in 2012, and then 2014. There's just been changes all the time. And if there's not an immigration legislation change, there's a new directive change that sort of outrights or underwrites what has already been written in the Immigration Act. So you have to keep abreast. I was actually saying to your gentleman in the car, is like, you actually don't know what tomorrow brings. Like, now there's a new ruling. Everybody has to submit their applications 60 days before expiry. But when did you communicate this to the people? Like, you can't just today decide, this is what I'm going to ask from people.
Why the consistent and constant changing of these regulations? Because as it appears to me, and I might be wrong, there is a separation between the law and your ability to police it.
Yes.
So the truth is, and anybody who's traveled the world will tell you this, from an immigration perspective, the laws you pass to keep people out don't keep out the people you want to keep out. Right?
100%.
So if the unsavory elements want to come in, they're going to get in.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a policing issue.
100%.
That's not a regulatory issue.
Correct.
So why the constant changing of these regulations? I mean, in the time you've helped us, there was like so much that was going on and up in the air.
100%.
Why?
I mean, it would be interesting to actually ask the minister that. I mean, I don't think they even know themselves what they want to achieve out of the act. I feel that the sovereignty of South Africa is almost compromised because we have this concept of we're trying to make it easier, simpler, better, faster, especially now with the new minister. But nobody has a problem with an immigration process.
So where's the problem?
Everywhere you go in the world, if you apply for a visa, you understand
That's a fair point.
that I'm going to have to give you documents.
Amen.
I'm going to have to prove who I am. I'm going to have to show you this is my bank account. This is where I work. This is my tax contributions.
Sure.
But we don't ask the right questions, so therefore we get the wrong documents.
I'm with you.
That don't articulate anything. Not what you're wanting to do, not your plans, not your intentions, not your future, not your past, nothing. At the end of the day, it leaves you in the situation where we're asking for things for the sake of asking for them. We're not entirely sure why we're asking for it, but let's just make it difficult for you to give it to us as well. And then when you give it to us, we're just going to reject you because we're actually not sure what you're trying to ask for. And I think we need more visa categories. I think we need alternative options. We need an investor visa.
We don't have one?
We have something called a financially independent visa. People need to show that they've got 12 million rand net worth, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be in the country.
12 million ZAR or US?
ZAR.
Okay.
That's nothing. It's nothing, with all due respect.
Yeah.
And so now I'm saying...
It really is nothing.
It is nothing. And then you pay 120,000 rand to the Department of Home Affairs upon approval. Now, that should incentivize them to issue those applications...
Quicker,
better, faster. No, that's slow, takes forever, and ultimately actually results in majority of the cases getting rejected. So I think we just don't know what we want from our foreigners. And because we're attractive of a destination, both for tourism, there's the tourism element, but we're not looking at it from an economic element. We think that they are creating... We get the sense that they're coming to invade. And that's a xenophobic sort of scenario. I hate that word, but
I'm with you.
But it gets that sense of like, you're coming here without really telling me why you're here. Not to say that the foreigner has any intention just to slip under the radar. He actually wants to participate. He wants to contribute to society. He wants to open up a BPO call center. He wants to run a movie shoot here. He wants to do these things, but in the past it's been so difficult. So now it's a rebrand.
Hello, family. Let's talk numbers. My favorite thing in the world, business and numbers. So here's the thing. Most businesses don't fail because the idea is bad. My own experience has been they fail because the founder of the business doesn't know their numbers or doesn't know the numbers until it's too late, until your cash flow is dried up or your suppliers aren't returning phone calls or that accountant, you know the one you see once a year, has disappeared into the ether and is nowhere to be found. So you've got to take the system of managing your numbers in your business into your own hands. And this is what auto accounting changes. It allows you to at least have a sense of your numbers in the business. You can get really, really deep insights into margin, profitability, stock turn, and the entire ecosystem of your business management. All of it, managing your business operations, making sure that they're running smoothly, and integrating to the back end of your business on auto accounting. So I want to be clear. It's not like some, glorified spreadsheet. Like, it's real time, right? Automated accounting, actual real time that you can use from day one to one day when you get to where you want to get to. Everything from invoices, pay slips, expense management, automated telecalls onto your expense management. It does all of it. And you can track, reconcile, and manage your business. I know what you're thinking. We'll see, what about tax? It does that too. It's got a tax management module where you can actually manage your taxes and keep a steady record of your taxes, both liabilities and well as accrued tax asset, as you're building on your business. But here's the greatest thing. You don't have to be an accountant. It presents it to you with beautiful dashboards, P&L losses, profit and loss actual reports, real-time cash flow tracking. It does all of it, including, ding, 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 bank syncing, as well as automated follow-ups and reconciliation. And for those of you who are global in your mind, it'll even do multi-currency reporting. Tell me there is anything else that you need. And here's the kicker. It'll connect to your HR so that you have payroll computation, to your point of sale so that you have retail operations, to your sales app for your business-to-business transactions, even to your manufacturing so that you're measuring exactly what's happening with your inventory. So it's not just an accounting software. It's like the backbone for your business. And today, you have no excuse not to know. This means you no longer need the Excel hacks, those complicated Excel formulas that we run. No guessworks, no surprises at the end of the year or mid-year when you've got to do your financials or submit your provisionals to the tax authority. You can now keep a steady trunning track record, all of it. The greatest thing about what I like really about Auto is the fact that the application that you choose on their app stack, first you can get that application for the first year for free if it's hosting. And for some of the other ones, you can even get it for free for life. It's an entire ecosystem that you can use to run your business. I say to entrepreneurs all the time, you don't scale chaos, you scale systems. And Auto is a really great way for you to start building systems into your business. You don't believe me? You don't have to. Hit the link below. Go check them out on their website. Tell them I sent you. Cheers. Just from your vantage point and from your experience, is there an understanding, not necessarily at the ministerial policy level, but at a bureaucratic, in the office level, is there an understanding of how important this is? Because one gets the sense, and just from one's own experience, that it's almost like it just sits there. And there isn't an understanding of like, oh, this is actually important, or like, this is actually urgent, or this is something that can drive the country forward.
100%. And I often tell the people that I deal with at Home Affairs that I'm representing a person. Yes, you can say no to me. That's fine. I've got thick skin. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow again about another case. We love each other. Don't worry. I can hear no from you, but can you afford to tell my client no? Do you understand that there's a person that you're impacting and your decision making is not rational? And if it's not rational, I can't explain it to them and you can't explain it to them, leaving that foreigner feeling like, really? I came 14 hours on a flight to come here to get messed around by immigration? Bye! I'm off to Botswana. I'm off to, any country in Africa who are basically doing this at the moment and welcoming people to invest in their country. We're trying to protect ourselves by not spending the money on the right places. As far as I'm concerned, border management is important. It's imperative because we don't want people to be here illegally. But then in the same breath, the sort of undocumented industry in this country is worth $1 trillion is what they extrapolate that to be.
Wow.
Regulate them. Give them a visa. Let them pay SARS. Let them contribute to society. These people are not terrorists. They want to be law-abiding people. They're coming from Somalia and places that are war-torn, and they're here. They have a shop that's contributing to the economy. They're likely going to employ somebody, that needs a job. Even if you take the concept away from the taboo spaza shop, and you say, I met with a gentleman whose refugee status is going to be revoked. He's been in the country for 22 years. He has a property in my neighborhood. This is not a nobody. This is not somebody that doesn't want to contribute to society. Yes, he's been paying taxes because he's on asylum status, but he's had it revoked now. He went for a renewal and it's basically just been terminated. No reason, no rhyme, just get out of the country. And then you have the minister ranting and getting all excited about the fact that he's deported 51,000 people and that he's doing, hundreds of these every day. And he just had a raid now in Johannesburg where he, took 615 people, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on the number. But a lot of people basically were arrested and processed because they're all illegal. And this is coming off the back of when COVID hit, our refugee officers refused to work. They haven't been operating well. And they haven't been renewing their documents. So these people are sitting here undocumented. They can't contribute fairly. They can't have a bank account. The basic human rights are almost compromised. And I feel like it is a human right nowadays. We've gone out of the basic human rights of being water and electricity. I feel like that should be a standard. Now we're going into, I should be able to bank.
Yeah.
I should be able to show my proof of address. Like, I always get so mind blown by the concept of a proof of address.
Crazy.
What do you want from these people?
But you can't do KYC or FICA without it, right?
Exactly. But bank like Africa. Do immigration with Africa in mind.
This thing about, let's just double click on this conversation about, let's talk generally about immigration and then undocumented immigration. So it's a very contentious issue, right?
Yeah.
Especially given the dynamics South Africa has, the unemployment dynamics, the economic dynamics, and the fight for economic space, and then a fight for actual physical space.
Yeah.
So my helper lives in a different part of town, obviously, to where we live. And the other day, we drove her home. So she likes to make her own way home. She wants to go past the spa and buy stuff, which is fine. But the other day, I'd asked her to stay late because I was working late. And so arrived home and kind of packed everybody in the car. It was like a nice little drive for us. And so we drove out to this area where she lives, which I grew up in a township, right? So going to a township to me is like just going home. Yeah. But one of the things I realized was everybody is on top of everybody in this particular township. Like it's full.
Dense, yeah.
Yeah. So as I suppose if I'm a South African who's living in that space, and I'm watching my township just get full, first of all, I'm going to have feelings about the fact that you're physically now in my space. Okay. And then I'm also watching the nascent industries that I've had around me get dominated by people who are not from where I'm from. Now I'm economically crowded out of my space. I'm going to have views about that, right?
Gotcha.
But the question I'm asking is this. It appears to me that we're dealing with the wrong side of the equal sign. So we're dealing with the side of the equal sign where we're like, well, this is now the issue. Whereas what we should be going, well, how did we get here in the first place?
Also,
what are
we
the
see
factors?
a problem. How do we solve the problem?
So
Where's
this is the question.
solution?
This is the question I was going to ask you.
So I think that's nature. What you're saying is it's a natural instinct.
Explain that.
Anywhere in the world, it doesn't even have to be in a township or anything like that. You sort of risk averse when it comes to someone who's foreign. You listen to them and you judge them and you sort of laugh at the fact that they have these cultural differences, and then you try and compare your cultural ways with them, and you try and find common ground, right? I think you are going to find that you are different to me and I'm different to you, but
Sure.
But ultimately, if our government took a different stance on it, and this is just my opinion, of course, this is not backed by any sort of science or economics, but I'm just looking at it logically. I'm saying if these people are already there, they're there. Do you know how difficult it is to remove those people? Do you understand the humanitarian impact? Do you understand where you're sending them to? Do you understand how long they've been here for in South Africa? How many friends and family members, and if their kids say ja and speak Afrikaans and walk barefoot or speak Xhosa because they're in a community where it speaks Xhosa, or Zulu, You know, at some point you got to look past the fact that you're different to me, and you got to look at, are you contributing like everybody should be? And the only way
I
to
understand
do
what you're
that,
saying.
the only way to do that is to say,
You got to bring them into the net.
you have to either, you can't ignore that they're in the ecosystem, you have to activate the ecosystem. So I'm saying, if you give them a visa, if you regulate them and you control them and you have regular checkpoints with immigration, and it's a patrolled, policed scenario, you may be here, but there are terms. You can sell this bread, but whatever you make, R2 of that doesn't go to SARS so that they can line pockets of very wealthy CEOs or whatever, or government officials. It needs to go to the community. You're operating in the community. Let the community benefit from you being here. Now you're not my foe. You're my friend.
It's an interesting perspective for sure. It's an
There
interesting
has to be
perspective
a
for
way.
sure.
There has to be a way. Because I can tell you now, the way in which our border is so porous, and I doubt that that's going to be resolved very quickly. He's putting drones. He's doing all these things. I mean, you may keep the others out, like new people, more people. But at the rate that Africa's grown, they don't need us anymore. They're going to be like, South Africa isn't the gateway to Africa anymore. Foreigners are feeling more confident to go to Namibia. They're feeling more okay with going to Botswana. They like how their government's running. They can go to Rwanda. They can go to Uganda. They can go to Ghana and Kenya. Kenya's booming. So do we really have that ability to be so difficult about how we regulate? As far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't be heavy on regulation. We should be heavy on policing.
Agreed. No, I agree. It's I said to a friend of mine the other day, we were talking about some of the regulations in the financial services space. In fact,
Heavily
I was going through some of the submissions that one of our firms has to make, and then the head of legal said to me, by the way, the PAIA manual, right? Because there was a conversation about should the PAIA manual be set live on the website, or should we, as many companies do, say, well, if you want a copy, contact us here.
Yeah.
And he was like, just put it live on the website in any event. And so I said to him, what is the cost of us doing all of this compliance stuff?
Yeah.
And it is substantial.
No, 100%.
It is substantial.
And it's regular.
Yeah, and it's regular. But the trick is this, right, is when you push up the regulatory burden, what actually happens is the compliant people pay more. Right. It's the non-compliant people weren't paying anyway.
100%.
So it's not as if you're making it more difficult for them to comply.
Exactly.
What you're doing is you're making it more onerous for the compliant people to be compliant. And often, not always, but often it encourages new entrants as well, because now that's a barrier to entry when you want to get into that market, right?
But I think the only way to change the way in which we look at immigration is to not look at, Africa being the way in which we treat the African people coming in or people that are undocumented, and this is how we treat Europeans. So don't build a legislation that's going to only sort out Klaus from Germany.
I'm with you.
Please. Because we have an entire country to protect here in areas that are not only Cape Town CBD or Sandton, in outlying areas, in farms. We need to give these people the ability to have rights. And if you don't document them and give them an ability to have a bank account and to earn a salary, these people are getting exploited, they're getting used, and you don't even know where they are. You don't even know who they are. There's no, it breaks my heart. It truly breaks my heart. And we had a situation where we were approached by a Somalian leader in the community. And he has 3,500 to 6,500, as according to him, people that he knows that have been rejected their refugee status. And he wants us to represent him. Now, I'm an immigration practitioner. I'm not a lawyer.
I understand.
So I have limitations. But I've got 2 legal people in my office that are fully fledged attorneys. I called them in and I said, look, is this something that you have an appetite for? And they were like, yeah, but we need an army. 6,500 people that have had their refugee status revoked. And I'm saying there should be a way to somehow say, are you new to South Africa? Did you just arrive? All right. Well, then I don't need to give you refugee status. You haven't created any sort of, if Somalia is apparently okay, according to our government,
then
and
why are
fine
you here
to
as a
return
refugee? Yeah.
to, which it isn't, nevertheless, then you should go home. But if you've established a life here, your kids are speaking Afrikaans, you are involved in our community, let me know who you are. Who are you? And what do you want out of life? Do you want to be here or do you want to go? Because often so many are trapped. That's what our Immigration Act does. It forces you in a situation where you're too petrified to leave, because if I leave, I'm banned. So I just stay. And what I do is I stay and I get deeper and deeper and deeper. And if I look at the psychology of most of these relocations and these people that I've helped in the past, if given a choice, first time round, and it was simple, they would choose to do it the legal way every single time. I've had a few, and I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I've had a few clients that love the concept of climbing through the window when the door's wide open. I've had a few. There's a certain
Climbing
nationality.
through the window when the door's wide open.
I often say that. I was like, what are you doing? Hanging out the window when the door's wide open. Do it the right way,
That's such a good analogy. I like that.
I get so frustrated with those type of people, but I can tell you that majority of these people would choose to do it the right way, to be legalized, to be able to work, to give them some sense of dignity. And they're here anyways. I'm not trying to say, open the borders and bring everyone in. I'm saying, they're here.
Find a
Take their tax.
Yeah, find a framework to grade them into completion,
100%. Take their tax,
into compliance.
Make them contribute. Up the tax rates for their stores if you need to somehow compensate the area that they're working in.
Yeah, it's a hugely contentious issue. One of the things I'm aware of.
I'm passionate.
I mean, you and I are sat in the heart of Sandton. We're literally in the richest square mile of Africa, right?
Yes.
So we're obviously not in the reality that most of our fellow country people live in. And it's a very, very contentious issue. I do take your point, though, that in the event that the person is already here, you should really be thinking about, how do I ensure that I get this person into the net, so that those who are obstinate and don't want to be in the net, then I can find a way to take them
Correct.
out, right? Okay. Now I understand where you're coming from. Hello, family. I'm so thrilled to share with you some exciting news. My team just scurried into the office and told me that we've reached 1.7 million returning viewers on our YouTube channel. And to all of you, I just want to say Gabon. Thank you. The support you show us and the team really, really goes a long way. And I hope you know this is a team effort. Like, I'm just the guy in front of the camera, really. It's the rock stars behind this who make it happen. Now here's my ask. 66.4% of you that watch the content of the Vusi Maguire channel haven't subscribed yet. I've got a bet running with a team. I think we can get it to below 60% before we hit December. What do I need from you? I just need you to press that subscribe button. That's it. We'll do the rest. If you press that subscribe button, it helps us grow the channel. It means we have more resources. We can bring more guests. By the way, you saw we've launched the video podcast. That's going to be incredible. I've already shot a couple of episodes. Amazing. But also, we can bring more insights. We can record more of our content as we travel the world. And we can just grow and journey together. I really need your help with this. It would really help me. So, I hope you enjoy the upcoming videos. For those of you that have already subscribed, thank you for the love. And for those of you that haven't yet, please do. That's what they say in my country. Please do. Spelled T-U-U. All right. I hope you'll hit the subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you on the other side of this. Cheers. For the people watching this, you are also an incredibly dynamic person in terms of how you run your business, which I find interesting, because you've got this it's been my experience that most entrepreneurs are either really, really serious or really, really not. you can go from really not serious, we're chilling, to wait, holy shit, this is a serious, we're serious now.
Yeah.
And I've seen your team like perk up very quickly, like, oh, okay, we got serious, Candice now. Like, what's that about? Is that a personality thing? Is that how you've always been? Or
I think you have to be so elastic, right? You talk about it quite a bit, like
Sure.
the elastic mind and
Sure.
being able to solve problems on the fly. But you also need to have some element of humanity, and
Sure.
you need to actually have a sense of humor.
Amen.
Life is pretty complicated without one.
Amen.
You know, so I don't want to walk around being upset because, you know, life's tough. That I'm okay with life being tough. Let's pivot, let's grow, let's build. Like, you know, I'm all about it, you know. I like challenges, but not everybody's the same. So I also realize that if I'm coming in hard, serious every single day, I'm going to lose people. They're going to be like, this is not the environment I was looking for. I just want to do my 8 to 5. Don't come at me with your expectations here. You know, I want to earn a salary. Thank you very much. And I want to go home at the end of the day. And I want to be safe. I want to have a safe environment. Other people are like, I got you, Candice.
Let's go.
You know that growth that you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. Let's go.
Because this is the thing about having watched your growth. It's been simply astronomical.
It has
Like,
been.
I don't know what rocket ship you got on, but you just went. Woof. And by the way, it should be said, without any tailwinds, right? So it's not like you were an AI startup and everybody was into AI and then the thing just grew.
Yeah.
It's like you are in a very complex, highly regulated industry with very, very sophisticated service delivery things.
Parameters, yeah.
And yeah, exactly. And then you need a team that's tuned in to like exactly the thing you're doing. And you need to have the ability to energize the market and go, we can actually do it for you.
Yes.
Which brings me to this question. What is the source of this growth?
You know, I have a great reputation for what I do.
Amen. That's true. I've
And-
seen you answer my WhatsApps at 11.
And I think I'm reliable.
Sure.
I've become dependable.
Sure.
And I'm okay with giving you the support, even though it's not going to result in a paid transaction every time.
Sure.
It's that sweat equity that you keep talking about, the sweat
Sure.
that you put into your business to get something out of it. And I'm okay with sort of losing, which is something an entrepreneur is not always happy with. But I'm okay with losing that one client because I put out in the ether something positive, something good. I did the right thing. Because when I do that, more's going to come. It's the law of like gravity. And I set an intention every single day of what I want. And I'm never satisfied.
I know that. Boy, have I seen that.
Oh my God, I'm never satisfied. And I just want to keep going. And I want to scratch this bloody itch.
What is this itch, though?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I in my opinion, it looks like 8 to 9 to 10 million rand a month business.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Okay.
That's what I want. I want a USD-based business as well for about $500,000 US dollars.
USD?
Yeah. I just want that ticking away there. And then I want something growing in Europe.
What kind of volumes would you be doing to get to that kind of business?
Probably about 2,500 to 4,000 visas a month.
Sure.
And right now we're doing about, we've processed 8,720 visas to date. I
Wow.
checked that stat this morning.
Wow.
And so that's roughly about 550 a month at an average spend of 3,200 rand. So
Wow.
we're doing we're an 8-figure business.
I understand that. Did you just say over 8,000 visas to date? 8,000 individual
And that's individual
people.
That's actually how incredible this has been. Listen, not everything has been, I think majority has been organic, let's be fair, but also some of it's been a little bit of luck as well, based off my reputation. Like, for example, I took on a staff member. She came from absolutely nowhere. I've been really lucky. I do feel like there is a little bit of a guardian angel on my shoulder.
I have seen that
And
guardian angel move in your life.
I'm telling you, it's
sure.
wild. I will tell you the story about you phoning me for this podcast. I'll tell you that in a few minutes. But you do have to surround yourself with people that want the best for you. So this girl came out of nowhere, doesn't even have experience in my industry at all, right? sat there one day and she said, have you ever looked at the forums? I said, what forums? She says, like Reddit or TripAdvisor.
Huh.
And I said, for what? She's like, no, for people discussing visas. I said, no, I actually never thought about it, So she says, well, do you mind if I go and dig around there and see if there's any leads? And I said, go for it. And she got us, like mentioned on Reddit, 6,200 and something times.
Crazy.
People used our services that said, great work. They even commented, like, did you have a good experience? Other people asking, like, did you have a good experience with this company? I want to test them out. No, they're great. I did my visa in 2 days. They're so good. Somebody saying, oh, they didn't do a great job because I didn't get my visa, but there were, like, tech issues. You know what I mean? Like, but engagement, this online engagement is ticking away with your company name. And that already helped us a lot. I mean, people were phoning us out of the blue. Companies were phoning us out of the blue. Travel
so
agencies.
Cool.
The other thing that we did was we decided that our client isn't the end user. Our client's actually a business that will refer the end user. So instead of trying to chase Vusi's visa, I want to go to Flight Centre and say, I want all of your visas. I want to go to Show Travel and say, I'm your preferred visa provider. Let's do all your visas. And give me all your travel agents.
I get it.
Let me white label it for you because I don't care. I'm not precious. Let's do the visa. Let's make the money. Like, I don't mean to make it sound like crass, but that's what a business does.
100%. That's a great market entry strategy, right? Because for them, it is in any event a part of the business that, whilst non-core, is actually a bit of an irritation.
Yes.
And it's an existential risk. If they don't get that right, people don't travel, they don't have a business.
And they cancel their whole ticket.
100%.
They're making their money on, So we went to travel agents and we said, well, right, how do we uncover this market? And they're such a passionate, happy bunch of people. It's so easy to work with the travel industry.
Especially if you get a good one.
Oh, they're lovely. They're amazing. And I've had such good experiences with them. And every single one of them just want the best for you. And they're genuine. So we've done WTM and we've done the Africa Trade Market in Indaba and all of these events all over the world with these community of like travel agents. And eventually it's about repetition.
So good.
So as long as they see me as many times as possible, they identify me with a visa and then get those inquiries.
So I'm smiling.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because this is fantastic and amazing and great. But I know and you know there is far and away a massive distance between having the strategy right and then operationally executing it and delivering it at scale to precision.
Yeah.
Which for the people watching this, not to gas you up, I would say this even if you weren't here, like I think your magic is you can deliver at scale to precision. To the point where, when we were going through our process, I vividly remember saying to the family, I was like, I think we are her only customer, right? Because yeah, just like the intensity of the touch point from you and your team.
Yeah.
It's just like we don't know what's going on.
Yes.
I was like, how is she doing this for like 100 people? Like it must be
100.
very, very so this is my question.
Yeah.
Like how have you operationalized that level of excellence?
So again, you remember we speak a lot about systems, and
Yes.
systems are key. And you, as much as you want to believe that you could do it all, you cannot. It's impossible. Like get over it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not really such a fan of AI, to be fair. I'm not like overly excited about it, but I do have a chat virtual bot that talks to clients and engages with them.
That's
hi,
great.
I'm Mandy. I'm your bot. It'll be clear about that.
It's called
it is
Mandy.
A bot. Yeah, Mandy. But sorry. So I think the nice thing about our business is that we know what we offering. It's a service industry. There isn't a lot of guessing about like what do you do.
Got you. Right, because it's a service.
Yeah. It's like, okay, like what are you going to do for me? Well, I'm going to do these 6 things. And if I have to say that more than once, I can automate that.
I'm with you. I understand.
Like, let's not do this conversation over and over. If I have to say, hello, ma'am, please onboard yourself on the link. Once you've filled out the information, a consultant will contact you. I can do that automated.
I'm with you. It's
and
rules-based.
It still sounds great.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of
So good.
rules in the back end. You must actually come and see our like Monday system in the back. It'll blow your
Yeah,
mind.
when last I was at your spot, you guys were implementing it.
Yes.
Is it running now?
Full blown, okay? And we are crafting it day in and day out. We have somebody on board on
Full
that
time, I
all the
remember.
time- all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And now he's also got an assistant. So it's a case of he's got additional support trying to craft that system correctly so that we can get those 3 stages of e-commerce that I keep talking about. It's like engage with the client, know the product, pay. Done. Know what I do, know what you want, and then pay me.
This is so good, Candice.
Because ultimately, the last thing I want to do is have my staff spend time on time wasters.
Oh man, that is so good. I've had that.
hate
That's
time
the
wasters.
worst too, right? Yeah.
And
yeah.
I've actually become quite okay with saying no. It's hard because in the beginning stages when I was growing the business, you almost said no to nobody because you were so like apologetic for having a business and you're so desperate to have any client, or not desperate. I've never been desperate, but it's a case of like, I've never been desperate, and I say that in a confident way because I don't sell from fear.
I understand.
When you're desperate, you sell that like, if you don't use me, all hell will break loose. And I was like, no, actually, you'll be perfectly fine. You just have another choice to go somewhere else. I just think I'm best suited for you. So I spent a lot of time on trying to get my girls, or at least I can't say girls, but my team, to understand what are we trying to transfer here. It's not only a visa. Like, what are we transferring to this client? We're transferring confidence. We're transferring trust. We're transferring knowledge. And when we do that, nobody would, in their right mind, spend their money anywhere else. Nobody in a logical frame of mind
We'll go elsewhere.
will go elsewhere. And I'm purposefully more expensive than every single other person. Because, again, I don't want to waste my time. I'd rather work with people that want to work with me.
It's so good.
And because I'm prepared to transfer the trust, my confidence in my abilities and my knowledge to you, even if it's free, even if it's a 15-minute consultation, I'm not precious about my time in that sense. I'm not selling you. I'm confirming why you should choose me. I'm not convincing you. I'm not selling you out of fear. I'm not saying the roof is going to fall in if you don't choose me. I'm transferring my trust and my knowledge over to you so that you can make an informed decision. And I can be okay with that outcome if it's a no.
So good.
But if it's not a no and it's a yes, then 100% you're going to ask me to pay. You're going to ask to pay me immediately.
Of course. Because I know what I do.
You've heard that I've got confidence.
So
I know
good.
what I can do.
So good.
And I've got you 100%. The other thing that saved us a lot was our refund policies. So a lot of these agencies that do what we do refuse to put their money where their mouth is. And I've said, I'm 100% backing myself. I don't get you a visa, you can get your money back. But I'm going to fight till you get a visa. And I'm not going to charge you anything to do that. I'm going to charge you the costs or whatever involved, but I'm not going to make it more costly for you to use my services to get the outcome you asked for. I'm going to fight to give you the result that you want because I don't want a failure. A failure looks bad to me.
Sure.
So, but if a client decides, listen, it's not for me, I've decided I'm not going anymore, I'd like a refund, they claim a refund. Boom, they get their money back. I'm telling you now, that will get me more business. That has got me more business.
Sure.
That has got me more business because people have gone, Candice, you've just handled that so professionally. I thought it was going to be a whole fight, and you just said, no problem, you'll give me a refund, and thank you so much. This is just incredible. Honestly, what else do you do? Because now they're interested. I do foreign exchange, I do relocations, I do immigration, I do visas to any country, any nationality, anywhere in the world. And my pivot point, I think, in my business was around probably about 8 or 9 months ago when I stopped looking at South Africa and went like this.
You did this, yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, damn. More people need visas. This isn't only an Africa issue. This is a global issue. And now I can have a visa company that does visas for any country. I mean, I told you I did Sergio Perez's visa.
I recall you saying, yeah.
How that comes
The
about.
F1
Formula One driver. Or
that's
Cadillac driver. The guy from Home Affairs, when I sent him a message about the visa, he was like, he's with Cadillac. and the meme like this. I was like, he's an F1 driver. He's like, he's with Cadillac. I was like, don't be like that. That's not fair. It was just too funny. But effectively, like, look, that just proves to me that my name, I actually have no idea where my name is.
Wow.
Like, how is it that I'm on a group? He's on a group chat. This is what Louis told me. His assistant. He was on a group chat with F1. Sent a message, said, "Who do I speak to regarding visas?" And 3 people posted my number.
That's insane.
It's an F1 group.
That's insane.
How? Who? What?
Yeah, that is insane.
Where? It's incredible. It's meant to be. And when it's not forced and there's no agenda, it's just good, clean, passionate. We want what we want. We're not apologetic for it, you know? Like I said to my team, I want you to be successful. Like if you think I get out of bed and go, I'm going to try and take some money from my team.
No.
La, 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 la. And then go onto the lead board and try and steal leads or try and sell the client before you. I have no energy for this.
100%.
I want you to win.
Yes.
If you don't win, I don't win.
100%.
Because now I want you to come to work going, I've actually gained more from working from this woman than that I thought was supposed to be money. But actually what I got was so much more tangible.
I had this conversation with my COO the other day. I said to her, my favorite checks to sign, we don't sign checks anymore, but figuratively, my favorite checks to sign is commissions and bonuses.
I love a commission.
I love signing those checks.
I love it.
Because
I'm also asking why it's so little. Why can't it be more? We need to get you up to like a 30 or 40. You know, I love it because you know you make money, right?
Absolutely. I just want to understand, in the early days of the business, was there a moment where you were like, this is not going to work, I'm done?
No. Ironically, no. Purely because I know what I can do. So it never felt to me, there are many occasions where I've been defeated, sure. But I've never felt like I could give up on this because this is what I do. This is who I am. This is how people know me. It would be hard, excuse me, it'd be hard to walk away from that. But I do think there's something alternative to that. It's not that I ever ever fear that this business wouldn't succeed, but I fear I won't succeed.
Whoa. Carry on.
So I realized that as the business grows and it starts morphing into something somewhat, you know, it's quite big, it's growing in the right direction. Maybe I'm not the right person to see it through. And maybe I'm okay with being the person who can convince a client to make a payment to do a visa. But it's a hard reality. Like it's very introspective. You have to spend a lot of time on yourself.
Amen.
And half of the questions that you ask yourself are harsher than you would ask anyone else.
That's right.
And I'm Capricorn, so I'm super hard on myself. I can go 10 rounds with myself just before getting out of bed in the morning. You know, I'm questioning every move I made, and I'm sure that every decision I made was a disaster. But I keep fighting. I've got I'm thick like that, you know, like I'm blonde like that, you know. I'm not going to let it affect me. But I'm just thinking like maybe while this keeps growing and this grows to the point where, you know, it starts to become what I would dream of it to be a listed company or bought out by Bidvest or one of these guys. By the way, if you're interested in that.
They're one floor here. They're literally on the one floor here.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But effectively, it's a case of it's really hard to think about that. It's like, maybe I'm not the right person to see it through. And maybe somebody else could take this to the level that it should be at.
That's so.
Maybe I'm standing in its way.
That's
maybe,
so good.
Whoa.
By the way, the fact that
heavy.
The fact that you're having that conversation is precisely what it is that positions you for growth. Take it from somebody who wouldn't admit this to anybody else, by the way, has exactly those conversations with myself almost on the daily.
Yeah.
the daily. Because really what you're asking yourself is this. You're asking, where am I best placed for this mission? And what a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is separating the man from the mission. So you're going, I recognize that this is a mission
Yeah.
and that I am part of it.
Yes.
I am not it.
Yes.
And so where am I best placed to serve this thing? Because it succeeding is more important than me succeeding. It's more important than my ego.
I mean, I told you that story about my friend who introduced me to her father. And the way she introduced me after like 12 years of being a friend, she was
tell
like,
the story. Tell
she's
this.
like, Dad, this is my really good friend Candace. We've been friends for years and our kids have grown up together. And I'm just like, bring it to me. This is Candace and she does visas. I was like, no, you did not.
I remember you saying
I was absolutely gutted. Because I was like, first of all, very confused. And then afterwards, I was like, she doesn't really think that the only thing I do is
it's visa.
like, surely there's so much more to say about me. When you've been in my home, you've eaten Christmas with me, you're like family to me, your kids are like my kids. Like, honestly, and I do visas, so yeah, it's just funny. It's like people, I feel like that was the biggest challenge. If you talked about challenges, that was the absolute biggest nightmare, is saying, it's not Candace. It's a broad scope. It's visas
so
abroad.
Good.
Stop with this Candace.
I'm telling you,
I'm tagged 70 times a day on Instagram and on Facebook for inquiries and leads. Candace. Candace cannot respond to 70 people. And now what you're doing is you're setting me up for failure. I want to be tagged. Thank you so much for the tag. But effectively, tag the company. We have an entire team that is there at the ready to capture all these leads and do something with it.
You're talking my language.
Yeah, no, man.
I had when we were preparing, I had a meeting just now with a fellow I met in Marrakesh in Morocco 2022. And at the time, he was working for one of the largest insurance companies in the US. And he's a Ghanaian fellow, and he's now come back to the continent, and he's basically running a business brokerage. He's facilitating business owners who want to sell their businesses, and he's creating a marketplace where the buyers can meet these owners, right? Which I think is fantastic. But to your point, is in the conversation with me, it became apparent to me that he thought he's talking just to me, but not talking to the whole infrastructure of a business that I. So I was like, wait, time out.
Yeah.
Let me help you understand. I understand this illness well, and it's one of the things people actually don't talk about, which is sometimes the curse of growth and of having a personality.
Yeah.
And of knowing how to leverage that personality for a personal brand is people don't look beyond that to go, well, actually, what's behind this thing? And let me get a sense of this person.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly not just Vusi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got an empire and an entirely competent framework of staff members.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would love people to see is that I'm not literally going to submit your visa to 100%. The embassy.
100%.
No, really. I mean, it's not. And you get clients that go like, "Will I see you there?" I'm like,
no.
We have beautiful.
It shan't be me. Yeah.
But you also gotta make them believe that they are no less than you. The team. Listen. Often I say this to my team. I said the difference between me and you is nothing. That's it.
Whoa.
The difference between me and you is nothing. Nothing. There's nothing unique. There's nothing special. There's nothing different. There's just grit, determination, and want and drive. And if you want it and if you want more for your life, you have to get up. It's the if you want to be somebody, have you ever watched what's it called? Sister Act?
That's right.
My favorite movie. I love Whoopi Goldberg. She's hysterical. And I actually
wake up and pay attention. I remember this.
That is the point I'm trying to make. Get out of your own way faster. Make decisions quicker. Get out of your own way faster, and be happy with the decision that's made. Because it can't always be perfect. Win or lose.
You had a story you wanted to share about when I called you for the podcast.
So this is just how I spoke about having a little guardian angel. I don't know if it's my grandfather or whatever, but I mean, he just recently passed. He was 93 years old,
Oh, wow.
and the most sarcastic man you'll ever meet. He was absolutely hilarious.
Right.
He would always give us those nuggets, those like the core of your. He would always be feeding the core.
Got you. Of
know?
your being, yeah.
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 There are many people that are around you, but there's nobody that's actually like giving you that.
That goes here.
Feeling. And he was always that guy who'd always say, you always complain that you have no shoes until you meet a man with no feet. And he would always be like, just remember that where you come from, you are privileged and it's a responsibility. And like, you do need to not waste your food, and you do need to clean, and you do need to look after yourself. And if you sweep outside your own house and everyone in the village did the same thing, we would have a beautiful neighborhood. You play your role in society.
Wow.
And it's a responsibility. So he says the more you earn, the more you give. And it's got nothing to do with church. He was like, so nice. He was like, don't just give your money to church. You can do that, but don't just do that. Everything from trying to find somebody a job to helping out. And that's where I think the who I am comes across in my business. And I'm not ready for that to not translate to the team. The team have to do that too.
I get you.
They have to be prepared to go the extra mile for that client, get up, wake up, pay attention, care, ultimately have empathy to get to that result of trust, confidence in what your abilities are. And then it's a case of, it's a no-brainer that they say, where's the invoice? How do I pay you? How do I make this work? But I do take my responsibility quite seriously for being somewhat of a mentor, somewhat of a guidance for the women in my office, because, I do understand that social circumstances are different.
Yeah.
Depending on and you never know what somebody's dealing with, right?
Sure.
So it's hard, because I've had to also think to myself, like, you got to keep yourself in check. You got to keep your own emotions in check. You got to work on yourself as well as working on everyone else.
So good.
And on the business.
So good.
Yeah. And on the kids.
Penultimate question.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I answered your question.
you did do.
Did I?
As hard as you are on
Yes.
Candace.
I'm harder on my husband. Yes, 100%.
Shalom.
Day in, day out. Yeah.
But as hard as you are on Candace, how do you make sure that you translate the expectations you have of your team without breaking them? Does that make sense?
No, breaking them is very important.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
No. You must break them. The reason this is something I'm pretty firm about. Like, I'm going to ride you to see what you're capable of. And only once you show me you really can, put in that extra 5 minutes, take your laptop home without being asked, answer that phone call, drive to the submission center because it's better for you to be there than send a driver. You're going to take care, you're going to take interest. That's when I reward you. I'm
Sure.
very firm about this. I'll break you because you know why? You come from a place of bad habits. I don't know where you worked before, but what we're doing here is totally different. Yeah. And I'm firm with my team. I love you. I will respect you. I'll give you all the reward that you deserve. But behavior needs to align.
I'm with it.
And I hire for attitude, not aptitude. 9 times out of 10. And by the way, I've actually been fired from hiring any more staff because according to my HR department, I am pretty iffy on that topic and need improvement. In my performance review, which I often do get from my team, I got told I could improve in that department. So I was like, okay. But you know what? I don't think I can.
Do you hire like a hopeless romantic? Are you I believe in you
yes.
and we can make it together?
I've made mistakes with hiring people like that because it doesn't last, Don't blow sugar up my butt. That doesn't help me, What do you want for yourself? You're not here for me. Come on. You got to live your own life, not me. This is the mechanism to getting you to live your life. But ultimately, we should be going together. But if you're looking for me to show you the way, this is not the organization.
So The podcast is called Ideas That Matter because my view is that every single person has an idea that they hold to be so true that it might as well be a fact. This idea could be an idea in the moment or an idea that they have lived their life by, right? So my kind of like philosophy idea at the moment that I'm living with is even if it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. So if you were to summarize like a single philosophy or an idea
That's hard.
that you
what just
hold
said, no?
true, what would you say that is?
You can only get what you're prepared to give. So, just on a law of science, right? For it to be kept equal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there has to be a little giving and a little taking.
Getting, yeah, sure.
A little getting and a little giving. A little giving and a little getting. You know, because
It's good.
the problem I'm having is that,
It's good.
you know, we live in an environment, we live in a society, we live in an entire world that is self-centered, self-absorbed,
Self-everything.
everything. They're just all about what they can get, what they can gain from every situation. And I think we have a responsibility when you start earning this type of money to give back. You have a responsibility to it's just as fun to get it as it must be to give it.
So good.
Because
that is so good.
and like you must actually spend with love, you must receive with love.
That is so good.
You know, the Jewish families always believe that when you come over to somebody's house, they never want to disappoint a guest. So they'll never ask you the question, what would you like to eat? Or what would you like to drink? What you will do is you'll come to their house and they'll put out everything that they have.
Oh, wow.
They'll put out all the drinks and all the snacks because then you're not disappointed and I didn't disappoint you, right? There's a social contract there. Or at least in the social exchange
So good.
of like, I don't want to be disappointed, so, and I don't want to disappoint you, but this is what I have and I'm open, take what I have. That's pretty much how I run the company as well. I'm very much like, I never want you to, I want you to hear everything. I want you to see everything. I read my staff into my financials.
Wow.
I have no issue. Oh, sorry, darling. I have no issue with telling them what we've earned because I know that they trust me on how I'm going to spend it. And I know they know I'm going to do everything that is in the best interest of the company as a priority because that's the vehicle that employs everybody else, but also that I'll act in the best interest of them. And that there's no spite. I went to a girls' school. It's hard not to be a nasty cow, you know. But I'm not that person. I'm not. That's the one thing I'm not. I'm not a bitch. I'm tough. And it can be misconstrued when you're a CEO, a woman.
100%.
Yeah. You know,
you almost don't have the
nasty.
permission to be.
I have nothing against you. I have nothing against anyone. You do you, darling. If you're successful, fantastic. Love that for you. But I'm still going to keep doing me. I'm still strong.
So good.
I'm okay
Candice.
with being strong. I'm okay with taking that on my shoulders. And I'm also very okay with being vulnerable with my team. We didn't meet our targets. That disappointed me a little bit. But this is how we're going to fix it. Quick to solutions, quick to resolve. And at the end of the day, I pay the price in any event if they don't hit their targets. But they take it on board. I can feel when they whole emotions and everything shift. This is a very serious podcast. We're not laughing much.
Yeah, no, this was, I mean,
Hey?
I lied.
You lied. You lied to me.
Listen, I can't tell you how powerful these insights are. The thing you said about, the thing you said about being tough is going to give somebody watching this the permission to know it is okay to be tough. And certainly, it's been my experience that I had to learn that my being tough isn't my being an asshole. In fact, it's the inverse.
I'm protecting you.
Truly not caring about you is leaving you where you are. But because I care, I'm going to call you to higher. and I'm going to hold you to a higher standard.
Yeah.
And often it means you're going to perceive of me that I'm being difficult or unfair or being an asshole. Sometimes it means you're going to receive it as my being unrealistic or unnecessary. But everybody talks about going the extra mile. Let's just get the last mile right. We can get to the extra mile after.
Oh my gosh.
And what I found with people is they're not even willing to just get to that last mile right.
Yeah. They're rushing it.
100%. Finish strong. Like, get that part
100%.
right.
That's why the systems make sense.
100%.
Because again, it's a case of it's all very well that you go out to the flight centers of the world and say, I'd like to do your visas, but you'd be coming up short if you don't have the right infrastructure.
It's the infrastructure for scale.
Yeah.
And I think that there's certainly a follow-on conversation between you and I that I want to have in about a year and a half or so, because as I arc back as I close to our very first call, and you sat in this kitchen and it's like poor lighting.
Can I just tell you the story quickly, 1 second? Because I told you, I said, I'll tell you the story about how we got to the podcast. Did I tell you the story?
No.
Okay. Quick one. That first meeting, I looked back at the financials, right? We had 47,000 Rand in our bank account.
No.
When I had signed up for...
When you joined the mentorship.
Yeah.
40,000 rand.
And I just, I know. And I know, right? I just got asked to bail a friend out at that time out of something quite complex financially. And I did it. Despite my better judgment. Well, it wasn't my better judgment, but I did do it. I did do it. And I took the entire, down to the last cent out of my bank account to help her.
No.
Yeah.
Why, despite your better judgment? Okay, but carry on with the story.
Anyways, yeah. So I was just no. I mean, that was the point I wanted to make, was that I had 47,000 Rand in the bank. We closing on eight figures this year. We just managed to meet the criteria and some for the EO membership.
Oh, wow.
Eventually, my dream is YPO, but you're
Soon.
part of YPO.
Soon. YPO is on you soon.
Oh, you have 5 more years or 6 more years.
Soon.
Right?
You've got the time.
Okay, no pressure. So I was saying, so the conversation you're going to have with me in a year from now, that's going to get me to YPO. Right?
I'm not a member, but I've got mates who are, and they all speak about YPO so highly. I've been invited. I've spoken at a few YPO
that's another
conferences.
thing that's so cool, though, is because somebody put my name in YPO chat, and now I'm getting all the YPO clients. So do you really, it's based on the conversation we were having earlier, do you have to be in every room in order to be in every room?
No.
Apparently not.
No.
Apparently not.
Your name will carry you.
Yeah, as long as you're consistent.
As long as you're consistent.
Exactly. What were you asking me before? The Vusi story. So I have a very good friend, Leola. She's divine. And I think she'll be thrilled that I
She's not
said
the one
her
who said,
name.
Dad, this is Candace, my friend in visas.
No.
Okay,
No,
good.
no.
Carry on.
No. So anyways, I told her about you, and I said, Vusi's amazing. And do you ever watch we were at the soccer field, a whole day of a tournament. We were just getting to know each other. Such a lovely person. And I said, I follow him on social media. I've met him. He's divine. He's such a nice man. No, I don't like Vusi Tembakwa. So I said, okay. So I said, well, I think you need to give it some chance. He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible.
Oh, dear.
And he's done such amazing things. 2 weeks later, she phones, she goes, yo, why did you tell me about this man? Why? I can't sleep. I'm watching every video. He's incredible. I'm obsessed. I know why you love him. I know why he loves you. You guys are like so much alike. It's
To God be
incredible.
the
This is
glory.
just like, he's such an amazing guy. I said, yes, no, he is. He's really, truly phenomenal, inside and out. And irrespective of business. You're a nice person, and you can see that.
God is
and
good.
that's why you're successful as well. But beyond that, so now she's at my house for whatever, some event. And at the end, she's leaving and she says, bye, darling, bye. Have a lovely week. And I said, okay, and have a lovely week with you too. And she goes, just send Vusi a message and tell him to put you on his podcast.
No.
Swear to God. 10 fingers on the Holy Bible. 10 fingers on the Holy Bible. She says, just tell Vusi to put you on his podcast. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm so sure I'm going to send that message to Vusi. How's it, Vusi? On a Sunday or whatever, and be like, can you just put me on your podcast? Don't be ridiculous. Anyways, I said, okay, love you lots. Bye. And she left. And Monday, no, it sort of romanticized in my head a bit, marinated.
So good.
I was like, imagine I could be on your podcast. What an amazing opportunity that would be. How would that, catapult my career? How would that change my destination? Because I think it's lost on you, but you need to understand.
I understand.
How incredible your platform is and how incredible you are. And the opportunity of just being here.
Wow.
Those are the opportunities. Like my husband always says, you must always appreciate the firsts.
Wow.
Any first.
God is good.
First pasta, first this, first that. Everything, it's just another first, and it's just, this is my first podcast. So it's really cool.
Hey, this is huge.
So this is why I fell upwards, right? So I've never done a podcast, so I go and I smash it on the park. So now you understand why my business is growing this much, because I don't start small, friend. It's big moves or nothing. Anyway, so she said that, and I was blown away because I got a message from your team 3:00 on Monday afternoon to say Vusi said he'd really like to have a moment with you, a podcast with you, and I was like, nah. You know when you feel pranked. I was like, this is
You were looking for Ashton Kutcher.
100%. I was like, this is my friend now taking the mic,
It's so good.
And I was like, you're totally taking the mic. I'm telling you now, you're taking the mic, right? And when I read the message over and over, I realized I actually had spoken to this woman previously.
Yeah, it was Vanessa, yeah.
We
She's
actually
my head
did
of
her
marketing.
visa. And I had spoken to her about that. So I was like, oh, it's not a prank.
It's real.
It's really real. I phoned. Who did I phone first? Who do you think I phoned first?
Your friend.
No.
Who'd you dial?
Who do you think I phoned first?
I would have thought the friend who said you're going to be on the pod.
No. I only phoned her yesterday to tell her I'm here. I sat with it because I didn't know if you change your mind, what happens, God only knows.
So who did you dial?
I phoned my team.
Oh, wow, Candace.
Immediately, I was like, you did this for me. You guys did this.
Wow.
Look at what we created.
Wow.
Because you must imagine I'm sitting here, but I've got all these people around me that I'm representing. I mean, they already told me, don't sit like this, don't speak like that, don't pull your face like this, wear this jersey, don't wear that top. I mean, the instructions were explicit. And I was like, I actually don't care about any of that right now.
We're just going to have fun.
Yeah, we're just going to have a little bit of fun, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was the first thing I thought of was, I'm going to go and tell my team. And Makalado, you met him in my office.
Yes, I recall, yeah.
He shaved his head immediately after you told him you need to go back to the barber. He's never had dreads since. Swear to God. He is in love. He'll have your children, but he doesn't know how to, but he'll genuinely have your children.
So good.
No, he's in love with you. And you did a series, I'm jumping around now, but you did a series at one point, and you said something about how you shouldn't take a picture with somebody that's famous because
you disqualify yourself from the moment.
You disqualify yourself from the moment, and you disqualify yourself for the future.
Yes.
I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Look at what we've been able to do.
Admittedly, I do have an entire meeting room of pictures of me with people who are famous that I have taken. So it's my own advice.
Never stopped you
with
from
a
having
pinch of
relationships
salt.
with them.
No.
Exactly.
Thank you for coming.
This
has been such, I should tell you, I first started percolating the idea of us having this conversation just over a year ago. And the way I like to do things is I genuinely believe that there's power in letting things percolate.
Yeah.
It's why when you pour a cup of tea, you just let it sit for a bit. And then we did the last masterclass. And you were online in the masterclass, and it was, for the people watching this, we've got like a community of us entrepreneurs we meet, and we did the last masterclass, and then I asked you a question, and you and I solidly bantered for like 40 minutes, where you were sharing your experiences and your story. And before you go, I want to tell you two things. First, there is a light you carry, Candace, that you're probably not aware of. Every room you walk in just lights up.
Are you trying to make me cry?
No. There is a special light you carry. Every single room. I've seen you walk into a room where everybody's looking down and everybody looks up. I've seen you jump on a call where there is no energy and energy jumps in. There is no school that can give you that. It's just God's grace on your life. And I pray that you allow God to keep using that. Because what the world does when it sees that light is it tries to dim it. And it's so important that you carry that light. That's the first thing I want to say to you. Second thing I want to say to you is when you're looking for investors, you better give us a ring, because you and I have come a long, long way.
Anytime.
And I love the fact that you're on an organic growth strategy for your business. And I think that as part of the growth for that business, who you work with, when you work with them, who you partner with, is going to be just so important for you. So I am excited at having a small little page in the book of Candice McGann and the things you're going to be able to do, because I'm 100% sure this is the stepping stone. This is not the end. So
Oh my goodness.
thank you for coming on the
pod.
pod.
God's ears. Thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Go and find Candice. Tell her how much we love her. Leave her a comment. And go and find the website, all of the social medias for both Visas Abroad and Abroad Scope. And for those of you who are looking to utilize her services, this is not a paid ad. It's actually because we as a family went through her and her team. I can tell you they're as good, even better than she tells you. See you soon. Cheers.